people, on a good evening, we don't come again for another important story. We be say it concern our Edo for them. We be say every year Castle done the boss. I beg for those people who be say don't they follow us. This one are Urban Land Magazine, TV, radio. So today we get important people for the house. We be say we don't find discussion before. We be say concern this insecurity for Edo State. But today we come again. Can't talk and well because we get one of our important brothers. We say in day for this inside this security gone for Bodoyebo. Because these people they understand what they are for there. They know as the thing they do the whole thing. So today we can call and come house. Make he can tell us through as he know rich and as he want to make it be. As of it to help that those state government, they take we pay that place, we concern insecurity. So today we go welcome the come our studio. May they come tell us as a day. I don't say most of them, I don't first hear of, or I don't first know one of our big brother. We say, in the always they come this our studio, come they talk about how Edo State will take better. The fact that waiting instant will be that one. So now we would like to welcome the come Upperland Magazine TV radio station for here. Okay. Now it already come now. Mr. Bassey Osagie, you are welcome to Upperland TV radio and okay. So we still get our brother for house too. So you are welcome to Upperland TV radio station. So our guy, Mr. Bassey, in or talking do for security matter, for what it be say it concern police people for to go to that side. In a sergeant, you see, I say you know everything we say concern security matter. So today, would they invite him? Make him tell us as he go be for that our Edo State. So first of all, we'd like to welcome our first from our studio. So Sergent Bassey Osagie, you are welcome to Upperland TV radio.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me. Thanks to your viewer and your listeners. I'm happy to be here.
Okay, you do well. So now we go still like now. Make we stick welcome our big daddy for the house, Bishop J.O Edopkolo.
My people, una well done. I greet you now well for where una day.
So we are not here now. So as they be, as they done for here before. So today, our big sergeant. So we don't discuss this matter before. Today we come to say we go call you come to our studio. Maybe you come to use your mouth and talk as you want to make it still be, most especially for that Edo State to be say everywhere scatter for matter will be say concern insecurity. So before we start, would like you tell people by yourself now what thing you they do and who you be.
Small, but my pidgin is not too great. So I think the best thing for me to do is to speak proper, and I will go to miss out our time to go.
You are very welcome.
Okay, for me, I was born and raised in Benin City, originally from Ohi in the local government area of Edo State. I came to Canada at a very young age. I finished my high school in Canada, and then I attended York University where I had a degree in business administration. Towards the end of my years in University of York University, I became a part-time court officer with the Toronto Police. Court officer are those security officers that take care of the judges and all those people behind the scene. Then in 2000, then I became a police officer with Toronto Police Service. And to keep it short, I went through a 4th class constable, 3rd class constable, up to 1st class constable. And then that's how during that time, I served in different fields. I was a primary response unit. I served in the guns and gas unit. Guns and gas, those are what you call the courts in Nigeria. In Canada, we call them gangs. Court in Benin, we call them gangs. I served in the unit. I did a detective job. I did a street type violence service. And then I got promoted to a leadership position in 2011 as a sergeant and a road sergeant with the Toronto Police Service. I did that for about a year. I became a detective in the investigating various crimes in the city. Then moving from that, I had a different position. I was at one point I was in charge of the community response unit, responsible for youths in Toronto for schools and for Toronto Police outreach program with the community. And then I left and I became, about a year and a half ago, I came to 2 Division, where I'm one of the leadership of a platoon to running the service, and where we have various officers that are supervised, that are under my control. So that is what I do right now. I'm also an expert in community policing, in international security. Last year, I was in Benin to deliver a speech on the importance of how economic development as it relates to internal security. But recently, last year, I came to Nigeria, set up a security company, because everyone have always asked me, why don't you do something back home? Because the government were not really serious in terms of...
Now, when they come, we would like to introduce our chief, make people don't say instigate there too, because now, because it for grand, as it go be for this our Edo State for there. Now, what they fight, food by all Mr. Bishop say, people they hear our voice, and Edo State people, they're there for we have been saying they call peace, make a review a decule. So we like now making talk your own. So Chief Dr. J.O Edopkolo, with the invited down, maybe say you come the house too. May let us see no one.
My people, una well done. Oh. Una know say una know me before. Una don't see me for the program before. So I don't introduce myself over and over again. Now me, Chief Dr. Bishop Osagie Enoyiogiere Edopkolo, the founder president Edo Indigenous Movement, CEO Canada World Conglomerate, and also a profound motivational speaker. As you know, the background, a traditional background. So about our homeland, we they very, very, very committed to issues where they concern our people.
So you do well. You do well for that. You tell us so. So now, coming back to our sergeant, I beg, as we talk on just now, we don't really see him say, the Igbo will be see the knack. In fact, some people don't put the right message to make like you go break her down so small for us. Because we like authors say, so not come to hear and well. So as we do it for here, we come to be like say you want to change that for our hard here. You be like say you go try. That's a radio of that baby go Igbo. When you low and small, so that both for the year everything we did. So as we talked before, so before we say we go into this matter proper, I would like make all of us gonna watch this video. We'll really see what they happen for Edo State first. So that we will know as we will take start to the topic for this matter. So my people, I beg, make everybody put eye for ground. Make you not join us watch this important video one play we say concern that our Edo State there. We'll see what they happen. If not what is good for eye, people will be say get message, we get comment to the one that will see send and come for us. We will answer them here. So make we watch them now.
Mr. Godwin Obaseki of Edo State. I'm doing this video this afternoon to let you know, as the Chief Security Officer of the state, as we talk so, the state not safe. The state not safe. They rob people up and down. They rob people from house to house, shop to shop. As you can see, if you see my eye now, just awake. Gunshot for my area. Everywhere they shoot gun. They use gun, they wake people up. They enter people's house, enter people's shop. They rob people. The state is not safe. Mr. Godwin, my governor, please switch into action. Switch into action swiftly. Do something. Do something. Do something. Do something. They are robbing people. They rob people. They shoot gun. Even presently in my area right now, they are shooting gun. They shoot gun and hide. Come and do this video. So the state not safe. Oh, the state not safe. Please, those of you in Upper Ikpobai, Sapler Road, and every other area we rock get for this time, stay safe. Stay safe. If you don't have any reason of going out, stay in your house. The state not safe. It's not safe. Godwin Obaseki, my governor, please do something. Where are the police? Where them? When I come out to not be play, not be play there. They rob people as they talk, so that they shoot. People they all gone for broad daylight. They pursue people. What's all this? What led to this? What's the meaning of this? What did it happen? We not stay our state again. We not stay us again. Please, 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 please share this video. Share this video for the sake of your loved ones. May una mind you on they go now. Armed robbers full town. They're full town. They're full town. They're being like this. They're full everywhere. They rob people. I beg this one will be play matter. May they share this video. Please, please, governor, switch into action immediately. Please.
We don't see. I still they are put for it. Don't say for that. So now we'll start with our sergeant. So how you see this matter now? You don't say you ask. You say which way you are putting down for that video we watch. So which kind of thing, which advice or which kind of thing would you think say government can do now for this matter?
Well, the thing what we'll do be say we have to. I think our people we are trying to be civilized, and our people are very civilized because Edo State have the greatest number of diaspora people. So this idea of the problem in Edo State is very obvious. It's courtesan war. It's people caught in Canada. We call them gangs. So it's better if I use gang. That way I'll be more fluent about it. It's gang fighting each other. The problem with it is that in Edo State, people will say they belong to EPIA. They belong for different court group. But it used to be people I did not go to university in Nigeria, but what I heard was that people that go to university in Nigeria belong to different of this fraternity. But what happened is that over time, people, even the vulcanizer on the road, the mechanic, they all become a member of the group. So now the group lost structure. So they have no control of themselves. So when they are fighting among each other, like the people in Sakomba or whatever Ring Road, they're fighting. So it's a war between them that affects everybody. So the first thing that's supposed to have been done is for police to, not now. We know that the court war is there. Police should have by now infiltrate them, have some detectives, like the way we do back home in Canada, have some detective among them to see the operation, to see how they run their affairs. That way we'll be able to plan when things are going to happen. But since police have not done that, and now I'm hearing the governor have sent people to that area for Operation Show of Force, although I do not agree with the way they're shooting people and throwing people in the trunk of a vehicle. I think that's very primitive, and that doesn't solve the problem. But once the army have finished doing that, the next step should be the police, through, if it was Canada, through community policing, should now be working with the people, with the good people of Sakmoba Road, especially where the heavy heat of that, working with them to see, okay, who are the bad people among you? Then we know them and work with the good ones to make sure the bad people doesn't return. Because what happened is that the governor bring a lot of people now, but 2 years from now, it's going to repeat. And the problem why Edo is very peculiar is because a lot of those politicians in Edo State are members of these gangs. They are members of these courts. So during election, I'm telling you, I'm not saying maybe. They are members of this court.
Make we wait first for that one because we come down later. Make we wait first for that one, but they come down later. Make we let.
Okay, but let me just summarize. So because of that, it's difficult to deal with. That is why it always come and always go. So once what the governor is doing to bring everybody to remove the people, like I said, I do not agree with the pattern they're doing it. Then what do we do? Because the problem will continue. What is the government doing in terms of employing the youth, in terms of giving the youth opportunity? Because based on my experience, every crime is underpinned by social issue. One of the issues of crime is poverty. When people are poor, they have tendency to commit crime. The other one is education. When people are not educated, they have less opportunity, so they cannot care for themselves. Another thing which in Nigeria is there, but people don't recognize it, is mental illness. A lot of these guys are crazy. I was watching one video of a guy in Benin he was caught with a gun, and he's telling them where the gun is. It doesn't mean to die. I believe that guy have lost the sense of human being, and he doesn't care about his life. So that is where the problem is. So it has to be a holistic overview of our security review of our security infrastructure. But don't forget, it's not just police or military issue. The government must do more.
Your time will be for the first one, not already elapsed. So we'll meet our chief, make it talking for this matter we say what they're talking about now. So now we invite our chief. Watch up now. Please watch up now. Wait till you see from this side here. Wait till you see from this side here. You will get to talk for this.
You see, thank you very much, Oberland. You get one thing when our people get to understand about all these consistent or persistent crimes or violent attitudes when we see for Edo. You see, the first thing first that I believe we need to be looking where we need to be looking to properly. Now, consequences to crime. Everywhere for the world, when there is proper enforcement of consequences to crime, you go see them say the crime go automatically they die down, and the people where they perpetrate those actions, you go see them begin to stop them small, because they don't see them say once them hold you for this matter, this now waiting the law talk about them, and once they hold you, them true see them say that same law they enforce them against their oga, their abroad, the people we they gather, the gang when they do this violent crime. You go see them say the thing automatically they die down until these things are done. If you like, we talk from here, go reach thy kingdom come. The result will remain the same. And I'll go tell you, say, when you pay attention carefully on how it did happen, you go see and say a series. It be like series of movies. Once the one way happened 4 years ago, they happened after that one. The government provide the emergency measure. It goes so it be like say they cut grass for the top. When you cross grass for the top, the roots still did there. You not go ever die. And another thing where you go understand now, see our police for our society. There's a big work well. They be one of they join among the best analog police where you go see for the world. They know how to fight crime well when they're ready. Now, the question is, are these our police really ready for house to really quench this matter? Yes, some of them are ready. But another question be say, the leadership of the police, are they ready to give them the empowerment or the authorization with the guidelines of the law to actually enforce this? That is no. That one not they happen. Another thing you get to also understand about this, and I say, this matter when I just talked just now, and I say, most of these people where be say that they perpetrate, they be leader, because all these things get leadership. They get leadership, then the young group go come the copy from them, whether na armed robbers, whether na gangs or whatever we choose to call them. They all have leadership. And the police for back home, they know them. Now the money where they collect for their hand, some of these people, they meet them every day. Nothing where police don't know for our state. So when some people they get the matter wrong, they talk from different parts of the world, say police should act, this one our people police don't know job. Now lie, you don't know our police. If you know our police, you go know say the only thing where they not get now be equipment and the right digital empowerment to actually take their job to the next level. Talking about say whether they go fit do the job. my brother, they too do the job. If they give them, if just like they want pressure the police, we also want make like our governor pressure them, or even from the presidency, because we get federal police, they should pressure them and give them a target. And this our police will do it in no time. Before I let this topic go, not forget, say, this matter of violence started again immediately after the EndSARS protest. Don't forget that during the EndSARS protest, the position of the police department in the country was relegated to the bottom during the EndSARS protest, when some hoodlums hijack part of the protest. So they relegated the police to the bottom, and some of our people, citizens, were also supporting those hoodlums at a point. Say what they do, they right, police own too much. But guess what? This police, my brother, they ain't into policing. Say police now more like a society. They get a belief system, and their job now to first of all make sure, say, they protect themselves while they are in the field of their job. Now, as we come out from this EndSARS protest, now immediately violence, jump into the matter. Now, don't forget that these same police, some of them, in couple with the corruption we fed their mind, don't already they say, okay, it's good. I think they don't see her now say, now when they say maybe we sit down for her, they don't see her now say, Wahala don't start. Now make them see Wahala where they start when it be say them to reduce police, they depower police for the town. That is also part of what escalated. Yes.
So the time when we say we they use those English there. So now what we like now, since we get the police of our midst now, everything you put mark now, many police will be saying for our midst now. They tell us if now two what we say they go put into practice with that one, because as we did now, as we talk just and say, even after the EndSARS finish, now the whole thing come down brata again. So as far as police they here now, he go tell us as it take a fortune. And what we say the government go get to do. And for here now we get many questions we say we ask them to. So now Sergent Bassey, we give you another time again. I mean, you tell us now. You hear what Chief tell us just now concerning this matter. So we will want to make you put your own journal now. Why you want? What do you think say as Chief talk just now? What the police supposed to really do?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, I think that the first thing we should do is there's too much social media talk show people on regarding Benin going on. I was watching a show today saying police are not your friend, but those are primitive ideas. What we should know is that police are the only people to do this job. We can always support them. In Canada, where I'm a police officer, the what should happen is that the government have to take it serious. This is what the government should do. The government should have a section of the police that deal with community policing. That part of the police, if we cannot get our own state police, what the federal government have to do is to decentralize the police and give the commissioner of police more discretionary power so that they can make decisions, because every crime is localized. You can see that the courtesan war that is going on in Benin is not in Delta, it's not in Abuja. So we cannot have an Inspector General of Police in Abuja telling us in Benin how to police us. It's not possible. What should happen is that the police officer in Edo State should be empowered to make decisions on how to police us. That's one thing. The second thing is that it is the police responsibility to win the favor of the people, for the people to have faith, because right now in Benin or in Nigeria, people don't have faith in their police. They don't have trust in police. So when people don't have faith in police, they don't have trust in them, they will not be able to go to the police and say, look at that man next door to me. He's a court member. He's the one shooting people. He's the one doing bad things. People are not coming out to talk. So police have to create that environment. And for police to do that, police have to work in collaboration with the people. What that means is that they have to trust the people. People have to trust them. So police have to work with organizations like community leaders, like those people you say, come to Sakomba Road, we can protect you. Police have to work with all of them. It's only through that police can work with the people. But for all these things to happen, what the state government should do right now is to help the youths, because those youth have no job. Those youth have no means to sustain themselves. And until the government can provide help for them, whether you bring soldiers, you bring police, you know, go work. So the government have to do more in helping the youth. And just to create, say we create some special constable or create something to help us. You cannot create an organization to help with the people if the people don't have the discretionary power. What I talk, we say, they give power to people in the community, make them work for our people. But those people, when you give power, well, our people know say they don't get power. So our people don't cooperate with them. And so it will not work. The only legitimate power when our people don't say get power like police. Because soldiers are not supposed to even come. So that is how it's going to work.
So you do well, you do well. So now because Chief Dr. Edopkolo talked that matter before last week, we say they talk about employment, say they give people this work. So that what make it easy use matter talk this matter small, we say you talk this some point. So before we enter another chapter, because true. That's where we say they're hungry. They say an hungry man is an angry man. So make it talk for this matter that will be so be you be say will be also put man down.
My brother Obalan, thank you very much. At the same, they also very important as we decide to put mouth for this empowerment or stomach empowerment for our people. You see, every state and every country security issues differ. The situation where they Canada, for instance, or Europe, for instance, or Lagos, for instance, is different from the situation where they've been in. I don't fair talk this thing before. It's called a mentality. Mentality that has led to habit. A habit that has now led to a way of life. Now, you need to understand, say, for the armed robber people, yes, now hungry, and how they want to make their daily living, and they cause those ones. But for gang, not be hungry, they cause those ones. Because the gangs, they don't already, most of them, they are well-to-do, and they get access to funding. This is not just a way of life for them. So I think the law, this is where the law takes place. Yes, I quite agree. Like I said in the previous interview, say, make government make sure, say, focus attention on how they go take, they provide good paid jobs. We go they attractive for our people, not be just job. We go they attractive. Because talking about welfare program now for young people, obviously that one is almost near impossible on the government's agenda for now. Should there be any kind of welfare program that they will want to introduce, it has to be for the handicaps or the elderly or whatnot, or people who are physically challenged or whatnot. Those are the first batch, if possible. But for now, the young people who are energetic, because also at the same time we have to be very careful. Welfare also keep people lazy. But the best bet, our people our youths are very attracted to juicy pay jobs. I'm talking about to prevent the armed robber sector now, or robbing and all that. They are very, because their eyes don't already deign to, many things when they do. This is a pre-existing mentality. So good pay jobs is number one. Now talking about the other gang sector, the bottom line is enforcement of the law. Now, the big question is, with all these things, when we they talk, say we want to make government involved, make they take action, they make their commissioner they empowered, make this one. But let's understand one virus in the system, which is corruption. When corruption no matter when they tell commissioners they make you do, commissioner go still take side with the people when he don't already the pamper before where they bring money come for them, because they overlook all those areas. But when there is a consequences, you see the reason why, like my brother where they there now, the reason why he own side they work now, because he know there. Say on people, including the commissioner of police for the country when in for come now, if you do anything where they contrary to the law, ain't no say immediately they go the consequences go before up. So we have to look at it from the root of the problem. Now, lack of consequences. Now be number one. Once that root is enforced or is dealt with, you go consider everything go come the balance. Then profiling of solutions to make sure that we alleviate the hunger and poverty in the society. I don't talk before. I said Edo State. Most of these people, our people now people will be say, Edo people now people will be say, they're not they too like to, they're not easy to employ Edo person. They're not they just they carried they want work for anything. Edo people now people will get flamboyant lifestyle. Don't get that wrong. That is I'm an employer of labor there. If you employ, yes.
So it good make me say this our police will be say he don't get experience will be say concern this security matter, and if people match just stand for that matter will be say you talk will be say concern this employment for our youth will be say you thought say not be just employment, because if I thought say the youth need the employment, what of all this guy gangster it got the name will be say call down just now. Why can't this all those people down? Not the employment say he calls that one. So we want me now make the sergeant make him tell us. Now, because in now people will be say whether na abroad or whether na for anywhere police we know that one. So you go tell us now as it's supposed to be for those areas we say you put patch just started talk.
Okay, yeah, with I think the Mr. Edopkolo have an idea about how it's supposed to be, but the issue about enforcement that I was talking about is that yes. In Nigeria, it's cultural that people don't, there's no, because of corruption, there's no consequences for bad behavior. So people will do something wrong, but they don't get punished. So then they keep doing it again. That is the systemic problem. That is a difficult thing to deal with. But ideally, the police are there to enforce the law. But when the police are corrupt, in Nigeria, it's not just corruption. It's because the police are not empowered to enforce the law. Because the politicians knows that if the police are empowered to enforce the law, then enforcing the law will affect them. They will not be able to be corrupt. They will not be able to abuse the system. So the politicians benefit from the police. So that's why it's not because the police cannot enforce the law. It's because the power that be do not let them enforce the law. When we talk about the consequences is because when a court member who is high up in the rank commit an offense, the big man, like I said, most of our politicians are court members also. So when you arrest a lower person who is their man, they will make sure that that person gets released. As a result of that, then nothing happened. But where I'm different with what Mr. Edopkolo is saying is that he said, it's not because of unemployment. It is because of unemployment. Because if the youth are employed, if they have a good job, then they will not be an enforcer to a politician. They will be self-sufficient. Because the politicians don't do it by themselves. They use those people that they have impoverished to do the job. So now take it back to Canada. The way we deal with gang issue is, like I said, first we do enforcement. We do undercover, we do everything to make sure we get rid of them and we arrest them. But the most important thing in policing is crime prevention. How do you prevent cut easy in Edo State from becoming violence. It's the different stages. The first thing you do, like I said before, is through education, through poverty alleviation, and through telling the people what to do. That is the best way to do it, because what happens is that, what about those people that are already gang members? We have to find a way to rehabilitate them and bring them back to society. But in everything we are talking about, we cannot achieve this unless we have a government that is dedicated to doing the right thing. Not just doing the right thing by just talking about it, by making noise about it, but actually going to the root cause of this problem. That's why in Canada, when there's a shooting, the mayor will give money for police enforcement. They also give us money for community mobilization so that we can talk to the people and bring out those bad people from the community and expose them. So that is the best way we do it.
So you do well, you do well. So now we don't talk about many for inside the battle. Now we say you can't talk now. Say not be employment now concern, and we go still see the reason why. Chief Doctor Bishop Edopkolo tell us say employment there, because in there for Benin, now one leg it there for Obodo Igbo. In fact, the two legs that Benin they serve. So he will tell us the reason why he make that point clear to us now for here. He will make us understand that one. So with the welcome him back again, now make him tell us why we say he make that point. We say talk to us now. We consign that employment because we don't say hungry need it for Benin. But as you be police, you don't already put man say not be that one concern. But in a way, you still put on my just and say hungry is there among the whole thing.
Thank you, Oberland. You see, I think we talk the same thing, but in different terminology. We are actually saying the same thing. The bottom line here, now solution. All these solutions where we don't use mouth talk. It's one thing to talk about it. It's another thing for the government to take this matter serious. All these things where they talk about not go work without the government not adopt the frame of mind when they talk about now. Now, for instance, look at an average, talking about the armed robber part of it, which is even the most complicated most complicated one now, because if you look at gun violence, once they mediate, once they put energy, say the both parties talk, you'll say there's a ceasefire, although even if it's deadly and lives has been lost during the process. So which means there are avenues to tackle that particular gang issue if the government really take them as a priority so that make it not happen again. But now let's look at the day-to-day one. We know they happen. Gang fight now occasional. Now, it's just that it's deadly, like I said earlier before now. But let's look at the day-to-day one, which they cause that one. Another the hunger structure, the hunger problem for the coming. Now, an average, do you know there's people where they live for some of these remote areas where we say they not get parents safe. Some of them no get any access to income because they don't already give up right from long time ago. See, there is no solution for job for them. There is no way, there's no job for them because most of these people not get skills. You see, talking about job, not the only job. I talked before, see, it is high time our government they put energy into vocational schools and profile these people, attract these youth into skill acquisition institutions. And in the process, you have to pay them. You have to make it attractive. Our people already work. All these people where they talk about, so once they see money they go fee eat from why then they go this school, they still get pocket money and they get training where we say it go benefit them, and in the process they go fit top, they go fit at least get transport take go where they take them. So which means there is a priority. Now, so one guy go take talk to for area, oh boy, How far? You don't know what did happen. Oh boy, get one ski school where they train us. So if they train us from there finish, they go, even before you start serving, they will just boss you like 20K, you know? And this 20K now, you go now your own, they go dash them to you. When you go this school, after you come out finish, government go even still recommend, direct you to a place where they say you go for work, you know, and they go even tell you how much they pay you, and government go subsidize, you know, add something to that. Like I said before, this one go attract a lot of people to go learn the work, whether not mechanical, whether not plumber, whether not. See, the problem we have there now is that we are short of skilled workers. You go there look for plumber for Benin, you go get your money, he go tell you, say, now he go they program you, say, now next week he go get chance for you. Because there are not many. You go there, even they look for electrician, the same problem. Ask any investor in that society, they go tell you, say, there is nobody to work. I don't talk them last time, say, people, they say, work no day there, work no day there. Nobody say, work no day there. Work day, but the pay they low. Now make it not they attractive to our boys. And they talk about our Edo people. Because majority of the people where they work for there now, they're not be Edo. These are people who come for Delta, these are people who come for other states, come they work. So we have to look for a way to make the indigenous. That is why the indigenous movement has prioritized the indigenous as a priority to be looked into by the government. This government and the past government, they have not done well when it comes to indigenous empowerment. The people will get the land will be say stylishly and mentally, psychologically, they are being affected with the fact that, you know, they themselves they're not prioritized for their own society. They need to be prioritized as well, and they need to make these things a bit more juicy and attractive for these young boys, because our people want something they attractive. You and I know they will get involved.
You do well. You do well. For now, we say you tell us so. Now when they talk about the matter of our people, the youth, we talk about the other ones, because Sergent Bassey, he talked nothing just now. We concern say police now everybody friend. The truth supposed to be you. They come like say police going to become enemy. They say police help on the other side, the other one don't cover. So the thing I be say, these police who they talk about, they be still be human being. So you know as a sergeant, you sure say now should take the function for your side. Now we be say you for the operate now for that side. Now say take the function for a door. You know sure say
no
also there for these people who they talk about so.
Okay. The way police work in Canada cannot work like that in Nigeria. Because first of all, the way we recruit people, the selection process is wrong. In Canada, people dream to become police officers, and they do a lot of things that will get them there. Like I was talking to another show, for you to become a police officer, the first thing they ask you is, why do you want to become a police officer? And the second thing they ask you is, what have you done to warrant towards that job? So, but in Nigeria, it's different. If you want to become a police officer, you have to know some chief. You have to know a member of House of Rep. You have to, if you don't have any of that, you have above 100,000 to bribe. So first of all, that training, that selection, you take out the good people, because most of the good people don't have the money, or they don't have someone to bribe for them. Then you talk about the training. They don't have the same training that we have. They don't have long-term training. They don't have the equipment. They even have to buy their own uniform to survive, to do the job. Then you talk about pay. The pay is so small, it's so low that there's no way police can sustain that kind of living. You can't, in the previous, when someone asked me, the minimum a police officer should make, a minimum in Nigeria, should be about 100,000 naira per month. And if you cannot pay your police that kind of money, because at the end of the day, you get the kind of policing that you pay for. If you pay pennies, you will get pennies policemen. So that's why they cannot be like us. And talk about the equipment, the gun, the communication. Do you know that if you're a policeman in Ogida, You don't go feel hear someone when they talk when the policeman for Sakumba Road because the radio is not good. And then when you call them, you call these people, there's no car, or they will say there's no petrol in their car. So how can they do their job? So it's easy for us to blame the police people, but we have to realize that police are not given the tools they need to do the job. And even if they have a fuel and they have everything in their thing, so how can they do their job when they don't even have the gun to match what the armed robbers are going to bring to the table when they don't have what it takes to fight? So the police, as we have it right now, does not have a chance with the armed robbers, does not have a chance to fight the courtesan. That is why during the backstage, Mr. Edopkolo and I were saying, what is the way forward? That's what we should be talking about. The way forward is that the police need to be paid more. The police need to be trained more, and the selection process must change. And the other important thing I would like to say, you cannot have a police commissioner from, say, the north or from Yoruba land to be a police commissioner in Edo State. It's not going to work because the people will not trust him. He does not speak our language. We don't know him. He does not know the bad guys, and nobody will trust him. He doesn't even know who to go talk to solve the problem. So the DPO, the commissioners, police commissioner have to be people from our community. That is the only way we're going to solve this problem. No other thing is going to work.
You do well. You do well. So as the matter be now, so we don't talk. We usually talk the police issue. We talk employment, and now as the whole matter come there for grant like this now, so we will still ask our chief now, because in the we do say in there for into this matter for in there for Edo State there in the use act they see everything. We go still ask her and say, as the arrangement be for there, whether that's what it's supposed to be, maybe say, next security tell Edo State, if they see the police people by himself, if they know as these people be too. Perhaps maybe people will be saying never there for what they're there for there. So he will still tell us more for inside what you put smart now. As government fits also sit here assist those people.
Thank you, my brother Oberland. Our brother, the Sergent Bassey, waiting a talk, not true. The examples when he cite, they very correct. And I think that's not the way to go about it, because they're not professional for that area. Now, but the challenges when they face now, given all these things, don't forget, say earlier I talk, say, now analog, our people, which means they are not digitally equipped, you know. So if them give them all these things now, maybe about 50% of all these expectations where we they talk about now, say, we know flush out this, you know, a lack of enforcement mentality, then all those equipment and gadgets and everything will be a wasted effort. Imagine if you give them all these things now, really and truly this police to go enforce this law, they really carry these people, come into police station, police net, then the public are supposed to be waiting for consequences or enforcement of the law. Is that not correct? So how about a situation whereby we do not read the police station now, that police, the person who perpetrated or who committed the crime now reach there now, he know the police commissioner, or he know in they come settle the DPO or the whosoever is in charge for police, and at the end of the day, them settle some of these police officers, and those people are gone scot-free. Let me tell you the cry that most of the regular police officers, you know, like the regular police officers in the street cry every day. I've been opportune to speak to most of them in so many occasions that they tell me, say, okay, listen, all this one we on they talk, say, may they go, say, if Nigerian police want catch everybody where they thief for the town, they go hold them 2 days now. Everybody go day here. If you say everybody go there, they go hold them down. But the problem, now see, once they don't catch them, finish. In most cases, when they go even catch some of these people, carry them reach Oga office. Oga go, they blame them. Why they bring that person? Are you following what I'm saying? So this is the challenges that we are looking at. Or maybe when you read there, he go say make he call whether I don't know one politician for town, you know, say make them alliance in a brother or whatnot. And before you know it, this person don't come up on it. So that whole action, contrary action, they depress the motivation of the regular police on the street. So now looking at from the hierarchy, looking at from the commissioner upward now to into the political sector, the IG where they Abuja, like my brother talked just now, say, how can you be controlling sending people who are non-natives, who are non-indigenous? How would they? I've seen a situation, even my own local DPO there where we say, if he come, or even DC, I have some of them as friends before, you know, where we say, when he come, he go to look for somebody where he go make friend. And guess what? The first people where they come first, they come greet and are those bad people for the society. They come settle and make up friends. It's a habit in the States. You probably don't know this, but this is what is going on. So these are areas where the police themselves has to flush themselves or purge themselves off of those type of bribery mentality. And how can this happen? It can only happen from the presidency. You see, that's where the matter become complicated, because the national police system, now the country they use. So now coming in summary to Edo, the only way when we go just take at least get some little result in the interim before if God touch the the country themselves sit up to make up their mind to pressure their presidency to decentralize their police, or, you know, empower the local police, like my brother talked about just now. Say, if you be Yoruba man, you enter town, how you want to know problem where they happen for Isiho, how you want to know the people where be say, how they want to be friendly to you, because they don't know you. You know, they speak their language. They know they can't even relate to you. So the relationship is not there. So the way where be say we'll go take the solution right now, as it stands with the current circumstances, is for our governor or the government of the state to say, Edo, where I wanna, you should stand tall when it comes to security. I've said it all over, over and over before, that this governor has been doing well in other sectors, but when it comes to security, he has not actually done well. So he need to sit up. We don't need temporary measure, because the responsibility of government is to protect life and property. Not be only food, because na person where they life, my dear, now they chop. Na person where they life, now they look for money. So right now, sitting tall means you should take it as 50% priority in the state. Let it be that, because now where they secured, now investors, they come. All these things where we they talk about, say we need now. There are some of these NGOs where go enter that society now. They go just begin profile all these solutions of counseling and provide solutions of, you know, food empowerment programs and all that, just simply because the society is safe before we go come. They talk into the area of power sector. So when the government put their foot on the floor, how can they put their foot on the floor? You should be hearing it from the both sides of their mouth clearly, and their actions should reflect it, that these actions are not tolerable. Nothing there wrong with governor. How many times our governors, not be only this governor, don't come out to say for the act of corruption where they inside the police system say we can't tolerate it in the state. I thereby call on this to make sure that this act of corruption. Governor go tell you, say no, say that they collect bribe every day. He knows. It's a culture. It's the way of life there. So these are areas. So we need somebody where they pay zero tolerance. You know, this is what we call consequences. When somebody do something, you interpret the law, you give them the food. When somebody do something, you interpret the law, you give them the food. When Oshomole come that time at a point, my brother, I'll give you digress a little bit and give you an example. When he came in at that time, all these bike people, they supported him at that time. We all know. But at the end of it all, nobody ever thought that the man will make a decision to ban bikes in the state, even including the bike people. They never knew. But when he took that decision, sir, and actually enforced it, my brother, you can see that the result in the state became, everybody accepted it, and the result of crime at that time, reduced dramatically. We're all aware. So it's all about applying consequences to what is against the law, what have breached the law. That's my simple position.
You do well. You do well. You do well. You do well. So now the matter be say we don't talk everything finished now. Don't almost the end. So therefore we carry this matter now grand finish. So we would like make our Sergent Bassey make it come tell us now, because he talk and say now the solution be the important thing now. I trust about the solution put for grant too. So as a police officer, when we say it be, so now we would like make it tell us now what the government fit do now. Now we don't be saying we they blame any government or blame anybody now. What they're supposed to do right now? What they fit do now? Now what this we will talk now. So before we close this forum with this, so we would like you put mark now. Tell us what we say. What the government fit do now to assist this area of this insecurity?
If I were the governor, what the governor should do? Yes, we know that when you arrest people, you take them to the police station, then they get released. Because they get released, because they may know the oga or may know somebody else. But you can't change that for now. What the governor or what the government should be doing is to then liaise with the Inspector General of Police. With all the power you have, they have security vote and all the measures to say, okay, to work with the IG. Okay, can you give me, say, 300 policemen? Those 300 policemen, can you give it to me for about 4 years? Then let's train those 400 or 500 policemen in areas of give them weapon, pay them better than the regular police, train them to work with our people, and then use those police officers to work and give them everything you need and make sure they have power to do their job. But the problem is that if in the absence of that, then the government should create their kind of paramilitary organization in the state. I believe Obaseki created something called special constables. I cannot speak to that. I don't know the selection process for those constables. I don't know the training they received. I don't know their pay. So I don't know what authority they have to actually enforce the law. If those officers are equipped to enforce the law, they have the right training and they have the right tools to do the job, that should be the beginning of where we should move forward. But in the absence of that, there's nothing else we can do about it besides creating more effective and efficient police. If you can't create that, you create a paramilitary organization or you encourage a state police. If you can't do if everything else fails, then the governor should be speaking to the Inspector General of Police and say, look, I want a commissioner of police, I want a Benin commissioner of police. And I want majority of people from my state to be from my state so that they can police their own people. Or in the absence of that, those people sent to Edo State have to be trained about our culture, about the way we do things. And that is the only thing we can do right now in the absence of there's no state police. So I like what my brother Edopkolo is saying about, Mr. Edopkolo is saying about the governor going tough. The governor, yes, whoever any state, the state official should be able to go to commissioner of police and say, look, I went to Osagie, people were arrested. Because if I know that people get arrested and taken to the police station, if Dr. Bishop knows that people go arrested, taken to the police station, and they get released by some big men, trust me, the governor and his people also knows about it. The question is, they know about it. What are they doing about it? It's not enough to just go in fancy speeches and talk about what you have to do, talk about the vehicle you are giving the police. Those are all talking Those are public relations. The actual work is done behind closed door. Like, do you go to the DPO? Do you go to every police and say, okay, we arrested some bad guys yesterday. Where are they? So if you remember, a couple of years ago, when our brother Solomon arrested was IG, the same court war came, and he arrested most of the people. I heard, I don't know, taken to Abuja, and we have a temporary reprieve from these people. But they are back, obviously, because they get released by these big men, by these big politicians. And nobody's doing anything about it. So the best thing, our people have to rise up against this phenomenon of where we have politicians who deceive us, who lie to us, and tell us they are doing something to help us. But inwardly, they are the one benefiting from it. And so we need a strong leadership, not leaders to just talk about what you want to do. We need leaders that can actually do what they do. Like when you say when Oshomole, I'm not a fan of his, but when he banned the Okada, and though they were supporting him, but he took a leadership position to make sure that Okada doesn't, because at that time, Okada were involved in a lot of robberies and everything. So to him at the time, getting rid of Okada will solve our problem. And it did solve our problem. I think sending the army, in conclusion, sending the army, sending the police to get rid of these criminals is a temporary relief, but it's not permanent. Now the government has to then create, one, get jobs to our people, create an enabling environment for it to work, then get the police that we deserve, and then, like what my brother said, be tough on crime, not just by words, but by the deed, and make sure that the law gets enforced. And the thing is that our people don't like to punish people when they do something wrong. If someone, our people, if someone from Igbesama or Igbesama do something wrong, you put them for jail. The chief, when they go call, say, now my brother, now this one, they go release them. Then when the other one do, they release them. We don't like to punish people. White people, that's one thing you gotta give them credit. Even if you are their mother, you are their father, you do something wrong, they support the law to punish you. And until we start to punish people for wrongdoings, until we try to punish people for doing something wrong, our society cannot improve. And another thing I'm going to say is that the people of Edo State, the government of Edo State, they are not doing enough for the diaspora. The Edo diaspora, we are a majority. We're even probably more than the people at home. But they will tell you they want that we support them to vote, support everything. But the question is, the budget in Edo State, the money in Edo State is not enough to create jobs. They need the diaspora people. But what is the government doing to bring us in? If you have, this is a very important point. If I have a company, like now, I have a security company that I brought. We have branches in Lagos and Abuja. I don't have a branch in Benin. So I'm not speaking about me now. Say we have someone from Europe or America that wants to set up a production firm, industry in Edo State. What incentive is Edo government giving them? Are they going to give them free land? Are they going to grants? Are they giving them tax benefit? What is on ground to encourage people to invest in Benin, to create jobs for our people? It should be like if you can create about 10 jobs for our people, this is what you get. You get social grant, you get social security, you get land, you get this. Until the government starts to be creative like that, well, people will never improve. Because you know what? The money that's coming from Abuja, the money that the state government generating is not enough to benefit our people. You need the diaspora population. But the problem is that the diaspora, they are not being carried along. If someone like me goes to Benin today and the governor says, Bassey, you come and help us with the security arrangement, you know, there'll be more of our people go say, this man don't come on a policeman, no. You're not going to let us chop. You're not going to let us do this. They will never let it happen. Until we change our attitude, we will never progress. Because let's face it, our people at home, they don't want us to come and join them. They want us to be sending money. They want us to just talk because they believe we are out on social media. But one thing that the thing they are missing, the thing that we just talk on social media, we are not on ground. One thing they are missing, that we are on ground more than them. Because the people we feed, the people we support, the people we help are more than them. And until they recognize that, until the Benin people start to do what other states are doing, like Lagos, most people that are running those parastatals in Lagos State are their sons and daughters from the diaspora. But Edo, they never, if you look at Edo, they don't do it. They only talk about it. And that is our problem. Because most of the good brains, the smart people, people that are strong, they are not there. They are abroad. What are the incentives to bring them back? Not by talking, but by doing. And our people are not doing anything about it. They just talk about it.
You do well, you do well. From what we say, you talk so. So now, without the carry this matter, Congress to talk us down. So as you want to come be now, we go like make Dr. Bishop J.O Edopkolo make him talk in final one for this matter. We be so they talk about it. So nobody go talk say he not here. And we know say even the government when they talk about all of them here. People will be say they around the whole world. They don't hear what we say when they talk for here. So now we would like make him come put the matter down for in your opinion. As he think I'm now say it's supposed to be before we carry this matter put for ground.
Thank you very much, Oberland, once again. But first of all, make I not go forget, my brother Bassey, you are a profound Edo indigene, so go beg you, make you carry that your security company come close to home. Otherwise, now we go hold you responsible as in indigenous movement. Now we go first fine you. I hope you will be ready to pay the fine as time progresses. Anyways, my brother, this issue, when you get to do with us moving forward, solution, I think my brother Bassey don't really talk a lot about solutions and how we will take, better our state. Yes, first of all, the issue of indigenous policing, police empowerment is sacrosanct. Okay, now, I think he made reference to Arase at that point in time. Arase is an Edo indigene, and he was able to understand the geopolitical arrangement in the state and was able to harness, to sort all the bad eggs out within that time, even if at the end, politicians ruled in with their power and, some of them were not prosecuted. But the bottom line here now is that empowerment of an attraction of the people in diaspora, not only the people in diaspora, the indigenes in Isi, Nedotiem, and Irisi could be people in Lagos, could be people in Abuja, or people anywhere outside the country. We need our expatriates, just like he is now. He's an expert in a classified sector called the police sector. We need him to come in. The government, yes, I think at a point, I see this current governor as someone who has been attracting people from diaspora. In fairness to him, I think I've seen pockets of people he empowered from diaspora in some sector. But another question is, are these people professionals? In fact, if I have my way, I think it should be prohibited to slot or slate a position in government to someone who does not have the pedigree or the pre-existing records or of professions or technical know-how to handle such positions. This is the first problem that the society has, because you go put a commissioner for agriculture for somebody who be say na engineer na do now how to mix cement and road na know. You can't go put them for agriculture and you say na be commissioner for agriculture. So this governor now in they expose would like them, you say as people rush vote for him, the expectation when we get for him is they high. So we need to see all those results. And also, my brother put mouth for the area of some of these issues where they face the people where they diaspora from being attracted to back home that they are not carried along. Another thing, the people who did diaspora too. Yes, I agree with them 100% on that. But our people who did diaspora, they themselves has to be part of this security issue to provide solution, because most of them, they contribute to the problem. How do they do this? By some of them, where they this side now. If anything just happened, they go just say, okay, some would go pick phone, who be a forcer for that Opasakboba where they say I ain't get power pass. Then carry some of my somebody go beat my brother. I beg, mo go bloody am or mo go deal with them. These same boys rely on some of these people from diaspora, and some of these people from diaspora have the habit of utilize them for negative activities. So our people in diaspora need to stop that. Because you doing that, you are encouraging those people and stylishly creating a job for them, a negative job for them. And that is not helping the society. So I beg una, make we understand, say, all of us listening there, and the ones where they talk from social media, even this crime will happen now, this gang fight now will happen now. Some people they post old video where they done of 3 years ago, of where they take kill somebody 3 years ago. If they post and put inside, say, yes, nah, it happened. So all these things, no, they help us. Make una know, say, this social media, the first thing we will get to the look inside now, say, the social media is supposed to be a place where they talk good things about our people, where would they talk solution about our people. Not be to come here, they condemn your people. If you condemn your land, condemn where you come from, every day they talk about self, your own self, what you don't do to contribute to the development of the state. When you ask yourself now, you go say, you never even do anything because all you did in our mouth. It is one thing to criticize. The question is, what solution do you have? And not only you answering the solution that you have, but where is your actions that you are put in place to actually match with your solutions when you be say you they refer. Not be to just to talk, say, do not do this, do not. You, the small one where you do, waiting you don't start. Make we take no say really and truly. If you, because don't wear so the small thing where you start now, make we tell you say, okay, you be sent, you sabi this thing where is that small thing? So if you never start anything to provide solution to security or development in the state, you not get right. I repeat, you not get right to condemn anything where they go on for that town. All you need to do now to start your own small way by talking to your friends, your own family, make these solutions may provide. And another thing, the issue of application of self-help in our society, if you say now, because the system is now backing on anarchy systems, is this, what do you call it, NSAS protest, there was a breakdown of law. So the system was experiencing what we call the anarchy system, where a lawless system. At a point, if you assess it properly, it became, a state of anarchy. But now that we are currently restoring law and order in the society, people are beginning to embark on self-help. There you will now see some videos where communities will catch somebody and burn the person alive. That is highly condemnable because that person deserves to be tried. Ew.
Okay. If like say inside, like say network don't fit for that side. So right now, before we say you come back again, but like say get network problem for that side. So before you come back now, we don't really hear everything we say the government supposed to do, and we to assistant for what be so that talk we say to assist really the Edo State for the matter we say concern insecurity. So now, as a matter company now, before we carry these things come put for ground as we talked about before, so we don't already see the areas that we say the government and individuals too, they're supposed to put their hand to support this matter will concern insecurity we say they happen for that our state for there. So now we will still like make we still use this opportunity to ask you just one important question before we say you come back. Now we say with your profession now, be say you don't get this experience for this matter, true. Because don't say you talk and just say you even get a security okay, don't come back. but we will continue first. We will get security company for Nigeria gone. I never there for Edo State. So for this matter now, what you got the guy for mind now to do? Because we don't feel well for one person. I see talking just now.
Okay, yeah, the thing is, he's back now. Yeah, the reason why I didn't open in Benin because there's a lot of insecurity there in Benin, and I wanted a situation. We can have partners too, so they who wanted us to start it up in Lagos and Abuja, and obviously, though I'm not going to Ohio, but condition Edo was very critical. But I tend to do all that now that I'm here to visit Benin and see how it goes. Because ideally, the reason we set it up was to have, because the police are failing the people, because police are not doing the job they're supposed to do. So we say, well, let's create why don't we create a security company that can help our people to protect them and to make sure that those things that police cannot do, the security can do it. That was the idea. But our people we have problem. How do you pay the security if you wanted to do it? Our people don't value security to the point that they believe you need to pay them good money for it. I always tell people, the politicians in Canada make less money than the police because the people value the police. So I'll give you a good example. The Toronto police have about 8,000 employees, but their budget is about $1.2 billion. So that is about 360 billion naira for 8,000 people. But you have a Nigerian police force of about 300,000. Their budget is only about 500 billion. You can see that we are not ready as a people to pay for the security that we want. And until we start to realize it, that we have to pay. So it goes back to what I'm saying, that we have to pay for the kind of policing that we want. Until our people realize it, they will not be able to do a good job in terms of that. And we have a governor now in the person of Obaseki who kind of have an idea about what he needs to do. All he needs now, I believe, in my opinion, is to have a good team with him. Good team, according to what Dr. Bishop said, good team that specialize in their area where you put them. Good team of people. If, like, I know we have special constables in Benin now. I don't know who is their leader. I don't know who trained them. I don't know who is their leader. Hopefully, they have a competent person that did that. Then, as bad as we have in Edo State, do we even have the Ministry of, like, Public Management? Do we have, when during the riot, and someone told me they went to the prison to release prisoners. I said, but in Canada, when there is something going on, the first thing we do is we go into what you call Emergency Operations Center. That Emergency Operations Center is where we run the city from there. At the table, I was at the table when we have a G20 riot in Toronto. At that table, you have the police, you have people from Ministry of Works, you have people from everywhere who sit there behind closed door to run the city when there's a riot. And part of running the city is to protect your critical infrastructure. So during the riot, obviously the prison is a critical infrastructure. Nobody was protecting it. So what that tells me is that the states need to, what is the emergency management plan? And who's responsible for that plan? It's not enough to have security meetings. Who's responsible for the emergency plan of the state? Because if there was one person responsible for that, the prison should have been protected. The government house will be protected. All the critical infrastructures, we are pre-labeled and you protect it. So that is part of what Dr. Bishop is saying. If you have, there should be a public safety unit in Edo State, public safety ministry in Edo State, because of our peculiar problem. And who is heading that public safety unit is very critical.
Okay, you do well, you do well. So now, as he don't come back now, we would like them make it come back. Maybe if just finish where you stop, just as we for close this matter, because we know say every boss I talk about, everybody already here would be say with the talk since. So now, Dr. Bishop, we would like now make you be say you finish with your concluding discussion for this matter.
Okay, Obalan, thank you very much. I don't know, if like say too much heat, now make that thing disappear me from there. If now some people now they'll say, spiritual this thing, they don't know say now digital. Understand? So, anyways, I'm glad. I am very happy that our brother Bassey is, coming back home, is looking back home to help us in this area of security. I'm not a professional. At the small one, when I know now, I just contribute for that area. But anyhow, but I bet to only disagree with my brother today for this program. And I go start with a parable when he make. That parable when he make, say we are indigenous people, they always tackle, monitor, study parable where you say, so that is, first of all, it's an indictment to you when you go start for Lagos or Abuja. So I beg you, without wasting time, I beg, say now where the problem they now be Edo, and there we need security. So I beg you, make you join hands with your team when they come there. Anytime we be say una come, if the service they are available for private sectors or companies, we no go mind to attract them to attract on our service. Make we also they take part. So back to what I talk before. Now, when I talk about our people, when don't they apply self-help? They don't they keep people for streets because then somebody just notice maybe they catch somebody na thief he be. Immediately they go just begin burn the person alive, begin kill the person right there. That is not supposed to be. That does not send a good signal about who we are as a loving people and as an organized state. That only sends the signal of a state of anarchy. There is law that is supposed to be applicable to people like that. So I beg our people, make it be say when they catch somebody will be thief, make them hold on down. If possible, tie them down to make sure say police themselves, they call police, make police come carry them. Again, it goes back to what we talk before, where we say trust not there for the police. Now make these people come begin they apply self-help. Same also go to police, make una they prove to the people say really and truly when una catch somebody, the prosecution una supposed to the advertise and make una take convince the people. Say after they don't work hard so much now they catch somebody, they give out to una. Say consequences go before the person. That now way, because in most cases now, una fit just go mistakenly go kill this person where be say really and truly no be really commit the crime. Now it make you they see say sometimes for court when they don't send somebody go prison 20 years later, they fit just go do investigation again, go find out say no be really this person, no be really do that crime. So how will we know when we apply jungle justice? So I beg my people, make una know they apply self-help. Police, I beg una. The governor of the state, I beg you, where. Like my brother, you hear my brother, Bassey, we be saying a professional for this field. He don't advise una. You, the governor of the state, say, make you number one. They attract, professionals, indigenous professionals from diaspora or from EC, even from outside, they do there. Consult all of them, put them, test them, and if they are professional enough, give them this responsibility to help you. Because you feel know how to, as I understand, you are an economist or you are something, that's not your classified area. There are other people where they classified in security. We are still yet to see you, attract some of our people like this, my brother, where they talk for here. Get him involved in the team. Empower them. That is part of the empowerment. Drag them back home. Give them an offer that they cannot reject, to make sure you have them on ground, because waiting person don't know if you go use your gragrate one good result no they come out. So in a nutshell, our people from diaspora, make una stop to the carry news will not be true. Make una make sure say una they verify information before una they circulate them everywhere. Make una still try. Make una restrain on ourselves from encouraging violence on your own small way, because that one they join. When you give somebody contract, may go find somebody, you give am 200K. He go forget say work day. He go begin to think that direction, say no do. My brother or my sister or that my friend go get contract for me within now till 2 months. I go still get like 200K. Mistakenly, if he go kill somebody. So you are contributing to the violent the violent act in the States. So I beg my people, all the Edo indigents worldwide, we beg of all of you to understand that this security not be only government hand the day, it's still they our own particular hand. How we they still they apply and talk put for matter too. Because this mind where we take the work, now small thing now it take the influence another person. Once you just talk now, it's okay to make them kill them. Anybody where they see, make them kill them. You have just said it, but the person where you they tell, no, if they see you as a boss, he go believe you say as you talk him. When he do him, you go hail him. And really and truly, when he really do him, you go hail him. Then right there, you have sowed a murderous seed in that child's heart. So my brother and my sisters, I thank una very well for listening to this program. Thank you.
Okay. Well, do well. So now, as we talk about us now, we don't carry this matter grand now. So we really welcome Sergent Bassey. We be say you take come Oberland station. Come tell us the matter. We be say this government what is supposed to do for this matter concerning security. And for today, I will consider this opportunity to know that and say you they able to get plan. We be say you supposed to take assist this government for the matter. We be say concern insecurity for Edo State. I will still thank our Dr. Bishop. We be say in they try to make sure say all these indigenous people. We be say concern Edo people. We be say they always stretch hand come as every day to make sure say Edo people they see them for better place. We say you thank you to. We be say take come Oberland station. So my people now here now we want carry this matter come live for grand. So the next matter we be so we'll talk again. I want to concern our grandmama, our grandpapa, those children will be say a full street. So we will invite people to come the other next week. But they can't tell us as the one make government still do them, and as the one individual take worker, because a lot of people they don't abandon children for street, abandon grandmama, abandon grandpapa. Because people like say the government too, don't even they show interest for their body again. So that's what I'm saying. When they come now, they come see matter talk am as the be say the matter will be. So for those of you now be say they follow us for Oberland station, when I begin they follow us now for Oberland magazine, TV and radio station. We still get our YouTube Oberland magazine. So those of you now be say get the mind. Make una just subscribe or make be say una just follow us. Anytime we say we take them like this for this important matter, we concern all matter for believe there, una will always stay with us. So we say once more, Mr. Okay, yes, Sergent Bassey, you are welcome one month to Oberland TV.
And we should take advantage of the governor we have now. He seems to be open-minded. And people close to you should encourage him to continue to do what he's doing now. Thank for what you do for Edo people, and please don't give up. You're going to have a lot of criticism. People that cannot do what you do, they will criticize you. Please don't give up. And thanks for having me. Thanks, my brother, Dr. Bishop. It's been a long time. I'm glad to see him again.
You do well. So what you got to tell about Land Magazine for this matter? What we say of what they carry the two now?
Well, what I will tell you about our magazine is, like I said, keep it up. There will be a lot of people that want to be like you. They will criticize you, but don't give up. Don't fall victims of people trying to threaten you. Just keep doing what you are doing. Just like there are Benin people that are policemen. There are Benin people that are in the military, US, Canada, but some of them don't want to speak. I choose to speak up. I choose to fight for our people. And that's a decision I made. That's a decision I'm going to stick with. And I will speak professionally, regardless whether I'm my friend, you're my brother, whether I support you or not. I will speak my mind. And but professionally. And our goal is to make Edo great. So the people that are elected to be there now are only there for 4 or 8 years, but we are there forever. And we should not be afraid to speak the truth. And we should not be, thank God, they cannot buy us with their money. So we are not motivated by greed. We are motivated by what is good for our people. And I'm glad that the Obala magazine take it upon themselves to do what is right for our people. And I applaud you for doing the right things.
You do well, you do well, you do well. So now we still talk to our Dr. Bishop J.O. Edopkolo. So now we don't carry this matter for granted. So we go like now, we say you just greet our people and still tell them what's there for your mind before we say we tell them bye-bye for this night.
Thanks. My brother, thank you very much, Sergent Bassey. I really happy seeing me and you. I was looking at they look forward to today so that I might see your face most importantly. Anyways, Oberland, we thank you very much for this opportunity where you give us. Before I go, before I forget, one thing with my brother made mention of, it really entered my mind where I see that I say make I echo them because we don't already do indigenous movement, don't endorse them since the past 8 years. When you make mention of say make government encourage indigenous investors, make it encourage, make it create like in our aims and objective is also there that will promote tax cost for Edo indigenous investors just to attract them to come back home. Like I said, so that these people can come, be attracted to come and showcase what they know in their own state, so that wherever they are in the world, they will tell them that go and check my state. I'm already doing it right there. So Oberland, this medium where you come, they give us to take the talk, talk to our people, we really appreciate them. Message also to the government of the day, which is the governor, that he should invest, he should take priority also in indigenous empowerment programs and attractions so that our people will be able to stand tall in our society to even protect us more to fight these crimes. Because don't forget, majority of the people where they come cause crime for our state, they're not be from Edo. They just only influence the people who come from Edo. If you pay careful attention, you go see them. So that if we prioritize our indigenous youths, our indigenous people and diasporans, you go see and say they go come begin believe in their own state. Say, yes, now our land did this, may we protect them. Then emotion go come the kicking. Now, so I say so far for my people. Oberland, thank you very much. And keep on the good work that you are doing. And as far as we are concerned, your program is an indigenous program. We will not fall asleep until beyond the sky will be your limit.
Now do well. Now do well. Now do well. So my people, I don't hear everything now. So we so now do well. We so that reality is down for people. We say they look us for where we say for the talk show. We now do well. We now tell you listen. For this matter, we can come out so as they talk about just now, it concern everybody. Not be said that one person hand the day. Make everybody join together. Make we make sure say that's where those people will come from. If person enter, we say people will say come from Obodo, but they enter, they go enter Kule. People will go we say they for another side, they enter, they go enter Kule. So now what we say everybody they fight will be that. Make they will still try to make everybody see they encourage the government too for the matter we say they do it by themselves too. Because if they don't support them, they don't figure and put for ground where